Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Kassy.
And you are listening to Culips. This is Real Talk by Culips, the series where we teach you the English expressions you need to know for real-world situations. Today, we're going to teach you about how to pick up and buy medicine at a drugstore or when visiting the pharmacy. You can get the study guide for this episode on our website, culips.com. And it's really the best way to study with us here today. In the study guides, you'll get a transcript, detailed vocabulary explanations and definitions, real-life examples, a comprehension quiz, and more. So visit culips.com to give it a download. And helping me today with this episode is my co-host, Kassy. Kassy, hello.
Hello, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty well, Kassy. How about you?
Yep, just living my life.
It's Friday today, though.
Yes, it's amazing. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Some people say Friday. Friday.
Ah, like celebration. Yay.
Yay, Friday. Yeah. Anyway, Kassy, let's get into today's lesson. We are going to teach all of our listeners phrases and expressions that they need when visiting a drugstore to pick up medication. Okay, now the focus is not necessarily on how to ask for medication, but how to understand and interpret the instructions that you receive from the pharmacist. Okay, so you know how when you buy medicine at the drugstore, the pharmacist will tell you some instructions, how to take the medicine so that you don't die, right?
It's very important.
Or get sicker than you already are. So what we'll do here today, everyone, is we are going to listen to some example conversations between a customer and a pharmacist at the drugstore. And after we listen to each example conversation, then Kassy and I will go back through that conversation and talk about some of the important English that was used to make that conversation successful. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, so let's start by listening to the first example conversation. Hello, I'm here to pick up my prescription. I'm Mark Flint.
Ah, yes, Mr. Flint. Here's your prescription. You should take these pills twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening until they're all gone.
Will they make me feel drowsy?
Only at night to help you sleep. Make sure to avoid taking pills on an empty stomach.
Okay, I'll make sure to eat beforehand. Thank you.
Okay, so in this first conversation, the customer, Mark, asks the pharmacist for his prescription, his medicine. The pharmacist gave him the medicine and the instructions on how to take it. And then when she was giving the instructions on his prescription, the pharmacist often uses like a certain pattern to introduce how to use that medicine. For example, a certain time period or how many times a day. So in this dialogue, the pharmacist says he should take some pills twice a day, in the morning and in the evening.
And Kassy, let's listen to that part of the conversation another couple of times.
You should take these pills twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening until they're all gone. You should take these pills twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening until they're all gone. This information could be substituted for any different time period. Andrew, can you give some examples?
Yeah, so maybe a pharmacist would say something like, you should take a spoonful of medicine every 8 hours, or you should take 10 milliliters of this medicine every 8 hours. If this was like a cough syrup or a liquid medicine. Or maybe they'll say something like, you should take the tablets once a day for 6 days. Really just telling you the amount and how frequently you need to consume the medicine, right?
Yes. And then another thing that was mentioned were words related to side effects of said medicine.
Right.
The pharmacist mentioned that his medication might cause him to feel drowsy, tired.
Drowsy, sleepy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there are unfortunately many different side effects that can come from taking medicine, right? You could be drowsy, you could get a headache,
Nauseous.
you could have a dry mouth, or the opposite, you could start sweating. There are lots of different side effects, and actually all you need to do to know about all the side effects of medicine, guys, is watch American daytime TV, and you'll see commercials for medicine, and they tell you all the side effects.
Those commercials are the best.
It's always a shock for me as a Canadian because I think it's illegal to advertise medicine on Canadian TV, but it's not in America. So when I watch American TV and see American TV commercials, I'm always shocked because maybe our listeners don't know, but they have to legally list all of the side effects that may occur with that medication in the commercial. But many medications have many possible side effects. So at the end of the commercial, you get somebody speaking very, very quickly to try and list all of the different side effects.
Yes, but they have to do it with a smile, like they're happy about it. So they're saying, with a big smile, they say things like, this medication could cause rashes, severe seizures, death. It's really ridiculous, actually.
Right, yeah. But that's maybe a topic for a different episode. Let's get back to the content at hand here. The final thing that we should mention, maybe from this example conversation, was the pharmacist who said that you should avoid taking the pills on an empty stomach. This is something that you are very likely to hear the pharmacist tell you. Don't take your pills on an empty stomach. And taking something on an empty stomach means having an empty stomach, right? Not eating first. Let's listen to that part of the conversation another couple of times.
Make sure to avoid taking pills on an empty stomach. Make sure to avoid taking pills on an empty stomach. Yes, you should always take your pills during or directly after eating a meal.
Yeah, usually. Of course, there might be some medicine where you want to take it on an empty stomach, but
That's true.
they'll often tell you don't take it on an empty stomach. All right. Kassy, why don't we listen to another example conversation, again, between a customer and a pharmacist?
Okay. Hello. Have you got anything for a sore throat?
Yeah, of course. These pills should help. You can take up to 2 at a time every 8 hours until the pain goes away.
Do I need to eat something before I take them?
It's not necessary, but make sure to avoid eating spicy food and dairy products until your symptoms subside. If it doesn't clear up after a few days, then you should go see a doctor. All right, so in this conversation that we just heard, a customer went to the drugstore to buy some medicine for a sore throat, and the pharmacist recommended some pills that would help make the pain go away. And we heard some interesting vocabulary in this conversation. The pharmacist said that the patient should keep taking the pills until the symptoms subside. Let's listen to that part of the conversation another couple of times. Make sure to avoid eating spicy food and dairy products until your symptoms subside. Make sure to avoid eating spicy food and dairy products until your symptoms subside. What does this mean, Kassy? Until the symptoms subside.
Subside means kind of disappear, go away. So she should keep taking the medicine until all of her symptoms disappear.
Right. So it's probably like this in every language, but there's jargon that's used when you talk to a doctor or a healthcare provider. They use, some words that are kind of only used to talk about the body and medicine. And subside is used in other contexts of English as well, but it's really frequently used when talking about symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
We call it a collocation. It's a word that is always kind of partnered with this word symptoms, is the word subside.
I think another interesting phrase in this example was the last sentence. If it doesn't clear up after a few days, you should go see a doctor.
If it doesn't clear up after a few days, then you should go see a doctor. If it doesn't clear up after a few days, then you should go see a doctor. Clear up is just another way to say subside, right? We especially use clear up to talk about skin issues. It can be used to talk about other medical issues as well, but if you have a rash or acne or any kind of skin issue, if that goes away, then we say it cleared up.
Mm-hmm.
If your sore throat symptoms also subside and go away, then they also clear up. So I think what we'll do now is talk about some other key vocabulary that you're probably going to need to know to have a successful trip to the pharmacy and back. The first one that I wanted to highlight here, Kassy, is dose. D-O-S-E, dose. What is a dose?
Dose is the amount of a certain medication that you're taking.
Right.
So, for example, like a dose of Tylenol.
Right. So it could also refer to the strength of the medicine, right? So maybe you have a prescription medicine that has, for example, 5 milligrams of strength. That would be a 5 milligram dose. Or you could have 10 milligrams. That would be a 10 milligram dose. So it refers to the quantity and the strength of the medicine. Now, this one is really, really important when just talking about medicine in general. It is antibiotics. Antibiotics.
Yeah, literally antibacteria. So fighting off bacteria in the body.
Right. So if you have some sort of bacterial attack or infection, then the doctor will probably prescribe antibiotics to help clear up that bacterial problem that you have.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another kind of medicine is an itch cream. An itch cream.
Yeah, this comes in handy in the summertime when you might come across a bunch of mosquitoes or poison ivy.
Right. Or maybe if you have a spider bite or even, who knows, it could be maybe you have a skin problem like a rash or something. Then an itch cream will help you soothe the itching sensation, right? So soothe means calm and subside. And of course, an itch is just that annoying feeling that you get on your skin, right?
You need to scratch it.
You need to scratch it, yes. Scratch and itch. Actually, this is something that I hear native speakers confuse sometimes. Sometimes they'll say, oh, I need to itch this. I need to itch this. But it's really scratch it. Scratch and itch. But even native speakers get this confused sometimes. The next word that I wanted to talk about is anti-inflammatory. Anti-inflammatory. What is an anti-inflammatory? What kind of medicine is this?
So anti, the prefix is the same as in antibiotics. It's like get rid of minus, okay? And then inflammatory means when your skin swells up and gets really red, usually due to infection. So an Anti-inflammatory medicine would help reduce the swelling and puffiness in your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Word geeks will notice that word inflammatory has flam in the middle, which is like flame, right? So you can imagine some part of your body flaming up and becoming really irritated and painful. And so an anti-inflammatory medicine will help reduce that kind of inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's Real Talk episode. Thank you for listening. We hope that you learned a lot here with us today. Just to recap, we learned about some situational English expressions that you can use next time you have to buy medicine at a pharmacy and understand what the pharmacist tells you. Understand the pharmacist's instructions.
Check out our website, qlips.com, if you want to get the transcript and practice exercises for this episode. You can go to the website to download the study guide.
All right. And you can also follow us on social media. We are really all over the place. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. If you search for the QLips English podcast, you will be able to find us very easily. And if you would like to get in contact with us, maybe you have a question that you'd like to ask or have a topic suggestion for an upcoming episode, then just shoot us an email. Our address is contact@qlips.com. We will be back soon with another brand new episode, and we'll talk to you then. Goodbye.
See you around.